In this chapter, we'll be learning about polymorphism with respect to OOP. So what is polymorphism? Something is said to be polymorphic when it exhibits different behavior when the input or the context or the condition changes. For example, in the smartphone, we have the light sensor. So in the daylight, the screen will brighten so that we can be able to view the screen more clearly. Similarly, during night time, the screen will actually dim so that it doesn't strain the eyes. So it is said to be polymorphic. In OOP, polymorphic behavior implies appropriate methods are invoked. There are two types of polymorphism: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. Let's take a deep look at each of them. Java allows to define multiple methods with same name. The only mandate we have is they must differ by type and or number of arguments. This is called method overloading. So if there are multiple methods with same name, how does it figure which one to call? The method that is invoked is decided at compile time, and this is done by matching the type and or number of arguments. Hence, it is called compile time polymorphism. In this demo example, we'll be looking at compile time polymorphism. We have created a person class which has name and address. Employee is inheriting the person class. Now in employee class, we have declared employee ID and employee level. Employee level indicates the position of the employee in the organization. So generally higher level would mean the higher compensation. Now we have introduced two methods. So the name of the method is promote. Now one is without arguments and one is taking 2 level. So the implementation is this way. If 2 level is greater than this level, so we are saying you have been promoted to whatever level, and we are setting this level. Otherwise it is saying you remain at same level. For the second promote method, it is calling the same promote method internally and it is doing this level plus 1. Let's look at employee demo. So in the employee demo, we have a public static main method. We have a line separator and we are creating an instance of employee. So Tom is our employee and he is currently at level 5. So we are doing the print of obj1 and then we are invoking obj1.promote. We are having one more employee, John. John currently is at level 6. We are calling promote number 8. So we are expecting John to get promoted from 6 to 8. Let's try to run this and see the output. For Tom, it is printing message, you got promoted to level 6. For John, you can see that it is printing, you got promoted to level 8. JVM is able to figure out which promote to call, and this is determined at compile time. So since this doesn't take argument, it will match this particular method, and this one which we are passing an int, so it is matching this particular method. So this is called as compile time polymorphism. Since we are having two methods with the same name, this is called method overloading. Let's see what is the runtime polymorphism. Method defined in superclass can be redefined in the subclass with same signature. This is called method overriding. Now the selection of the overridden method is done at runtime. It depends upon object on which method is invoked. Hence, it is called runtime polymorphism. Let's take a look at an example. In this example, we have a person class which has got name and address, and it has a change address implemented. So it is taking the new address and assigning it to the current address. We have an employee class which is extending the person. So here we have overridden the change address method. So you can see in this implementation, it is checking the distance between the new address and the office address. So if it is less than the max allowed, it is saying change of address is approved by management, and we are calling the super change address to do the address change. If that is not the case, then we are saying that change of address is not approved. Change address is the overridden method. Now we have created employee demo 2 example. In this, we are creating an object of type person. So Tom is the name of the person, and currently Tom is staying at 100 Chuck Lane. And now we are calling obj1 dot change address to 111 Chuck Lane. We are again using obj1 to store an instance of employee. So John is our employee. On obj1 again we are calling the same change address. Let's see what the behavior is. Now if you try to run this, you can see in case of Tom, it is invoking change address which is belonging to person class. Why this is so? Because obj1 is an instance of person. Now in second case, it is printing change of address approved. So which means it is invoking the employee's change address. You can see this message is here, change address is approved. Now why this is so? Because obj1 now contains an instance of employee class. So this is called runtime polymorphism. Let's summarize the difference between compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. So in compile time polymorphism, method must be overloaded in the same class. In runtime polymorphism, method must be overridden in the subclass. For compile time polymorphism, method to be invoked is determined at compile time, whereas in runtime polymorphism, method to be invoked is determined at runtime. In compile time polymorphism, method signature is matched to figure the appropriate method to be invoked, whereas in runtime polymorphism, the object available at runtime determines the method to be invoked.